Now, what really changed everything for me was when I had a heart surgery.
Yeah.
So it was November, I think November 2021 or so, and then the doctor came and said, this is a problem you had. There's something called AFib that I had. Because right on the way, I was already telling my wife, you know the password to my account, you know the house in Nigeria, the house here, you know all these properties and all that. So if this is it, I've lived a good life, my son won't suffer. The doctor told me that if I had waited for about 5 minutes, I'll be dead.
Wow.
Like,
what was that like?
It was tough. It was mentally challenging. It was exhausting. When it comes to cybersecurity, our training company is like the biggest when it comes to African American or an immigrant training company in America today.
Right. Why was cybersecurity the thing that you focused on?
Thank you for that question.
Come for me.
You were or you are based in the US?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
When did you move to the US?
Around 2017.
2017, right.
Yes.
So this is the 7th year
Yeah.
since then.
Going on 8 years though.
Going on 8 years. After you left, when did you come back the first time?
I came back around early 21, yeah.
Right. Why did it take so long before you came back?
So when you travel, it takes time for you to get your footings,
Yeah.
times of getting your papers, getting jobs. You don't want to travel and then come back home. Like how people to say come back empty-handed.
Yeah.
Like you want to have something to show for it.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why it took time. Most importantly, papers. Because if you're not, like if you've not regularized everything,
Yeah.
you don't want to come back and then you get stuck.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I was watching an interview that you gave, and you were saying that when you first went to the US, you worked as a day laborer. What is that?
There's something called day labor
Okay.
in Dallas,
Okay.
in Dallas, Texas. Those that are in Dallas watching now, they would understand. So that place is government owned, like a facility.
Okay.
So you go there, and depending on who you stay with when you get to the US, even though day labor has been scrapped now, people don't do that anymore.
Right.
But at that time, you go to that facility, you register, and then you pick a number.
Okay.
So, and I'm very sorry to use the word because that's how I can describe them. Just like, prostitutes will raise their hand and you get to call them. So, contractors will come. People we call contractors are people who like to maybe work on demolition or painting or do something on their house. So we go there, we register, pick a number, and then they will drive around. Then they will speak to the coordinator of that facility.
Right.
And then the coordinator will come and say, I need 2 men digging all day, $10 an hour. Then we all raise our numbers.
Right.
So the contractors will pick. I need number 10, So that's what I started with.
It just feels like they are gambling on you, like point and kill.
Yeah, it's typically point and kill. It's like, we have our friends in the studio,
Yeah.
and you need somebody to edit for you.
Yes.
And you come around and say,
Yeah.
I need an editor,
Yeah.
$10 an hour,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And then they all raise their hands, right? Then you pick, number 5, number 3. That's
how
what it is.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was tough. It was mentally challenging. It was exhaustive. And I told my wife, this is not it for me. This is not what I planned for. But, she encouraged me like, you know why you're there? It's not going to be like that. I'm barely like 2 weeks in America, so endure it. And
But it was 2 weeks in America.
Yes.
And you're already on your way, wanted to go back.
I wanted to come back. Yeah, because...
Yeah, because the change was...
See, while I was here, I do go to... Because I also managed a construction company while I was here. So I do go to sites. I supervise people. I pay them. They do their job. Work with engineers.
Yeah.
And now back there, I was the one, cutting away robots, picking, things on the floor, demolishing and all that. It's something that I was no longer used to.
Yeah.
Doing that physically demanding work. It was somewhat a torture, if I would say. So that was the reason why I was like, and then I didn't see how I would get out of that. Like, what am I going to do? There was no one around me who had done something better. There was no one around me who I could say, yeah, this person is into IT. This person is into nursing.
Yeah.
I think I can do this. And because the person I stayed with wasn't going to church. So I wasn't, and the church I went to was predominantly white church.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
a mega church, but sometimes on Sunday, I'm like maybe the only black. So it felt strange, and I didn't see a way out. So I'm like, well, I've got to go back. But she encouraged me, and and then here we are today.
And here you are. That makes sense. Is that, you wouldn't think that maybe consciously or unconsciously, that's what inspires you to keep talking about the ways that people can make money? Because when you first came in, there weren't people you could connect with. You can be like, okay, this is just for a while.
Yeah.
It will soon move. Is that perhaps why it's such a...
I would say one of them, but not only that.
Right.
So I will give you one or two reasons. Number one, that because when you get to the US, you typically do not really see people that look like us out there, vocalizing like, you can do this. I have done this. Our people are kind of quiet.
Yeah.
They're making money.
Yeah.
They're doing well, but people don't know. That's number one. Number two, when you get to church, then you get to meet like, oh, this person is into IT. This person into anti-money laundering. Oh, this person is a clinical research analyst. Well, talk to this person. That, I wanted to make sure that is no longer the case. And number three, which is which is almost one of the best reasons, is when I was teaching people, in church, where people say, oh, Bro Tolu is in cybersecurity, can you talk to him? Or you go to a party and then they say, oh, he's into cybersecurity. So I was, helping people, putting them through. And in 1 year, I had helped about 10 people get into cybersecurity, majorly friends. And we got to a party hosted by an uncle, and the uncle is also in insurance, like big weights in insurance. And he said, all of them were there, and they were like, yeah, Tolu helped me, yeah, Tolu helped me. And they were like, there are so many people that want to do this. So I also started considering that. But I was afraid because of my accent. I was like, I don't have American accent.
Right.
This is how I speak. And now what really changed everything for me was when I had a heart surgery.
Yeah.
So it was November 2021 or so. I was doing my exercise, normal in the morning in the year 2020, I think it was 2020, the heat of COVID. So I think I had done about 250 something, and I felt tired, I stopped. And then my heart rate won't stop, but just keep racing. I took aspirin, still nothing. So I had to call 911. So 911 got there less than 5 minutes. God bless America. God bless Nigeria too, anyways. And they started, using defibrillator, trying to pump my chest back to normal. It won't work. So they got me to the hospital, Advocate Hospital in Kensington in Chicago. Those in Chicago will know that hospital. They did the same thing. It won't work, And then they had to pass IV to stop that heart rate. So when that stopped, so the doctor, I think I'm going to speak more about this later.
Right.
But when I came out of that experience, because right on the way, I was already telling my wife, the password to my account, the house in Nigeria, the house here, all these properties and all that. So if this is it, I've lived a good life. My son won't suffer. You guys are good. And she would tell me, shut up, don't say that, women and their faith. So after that experience, my mindset changed. I'm like, now, I no longer care about accent, about whatever. I'm going to empty myself. And then I met Jimite. We'd been talking before. So we met. He came to a conference in Chicago, and he said, Tolu, we need to talk. Let's meet up. We met, and I told him about this idea of starting a cybersecurity training company. And I said, but because of my accent, but I no longer care. He said, yeah, go start it. So that is how I started the cybersecurity training company.
Right.
Yeah.
So that experience directly inspired you to be like, the things I've always wanted to do, it's time to go and do them.
Yes, because that gave me an idea of how fickle, how how fickle life is. How with the snap of a finger, you're here today, you could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not promised. So whatever you've got to give, you better start giving it now. So that changed everything for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said, when we were giving the story, you were about to say something about getting in and talking to the doctor. You just said you will talk more about this later. What is the thing?
All right. Thank you for that. When I started, I said, God bless America.
Yeah.
I know some of our friends in the studio would have had someone playing football, playing soccer. We call it soccer here, and football. And that person collapsed, right? And before they get to the hospital, the person is gone.
Yeah.
So for me, the doctor told me that if I had waited for about 5 minutes, I'll be dead.
Wow.
Like, dead. So, that was like a turning point, and also coming together of the fact that this might be the reason why I'm here, coming to America, because if I was in Nigeria, I'll probably be dead. So, when I got to the hospital and they passed the IV, and then the doctor came and said, this is a problem you had. There's something called AFib that I had. So there's this electric something that passes, some shock into the heart, those medical jargons and all that. Now, I had the opportunity of working with, if not the best, but one of the best heart surgeon in America, like one of the best, especially when it comes to AFib.
Right.
Now, we left that hospital and they took me to Northwestern, because Northwestern had the entire facility, the machines and everything to conduct that surgery. So, before surgery, they would prep you. Do you have this so in your family? So the anesthesiologist or whatever, those people that put you to sleep, they come to me and they ask, do you have this so? Do you sleep? Like, do you have sleep apnea? Like, when you sleep, do you no longer breathe? Ask all those questions. Now, the doctor that will do the surgery now come to me and I said, let me talk to my wife first. Let me talk to my family, because I know this is like a life or death situation. He said, no. He said, I'm the best in this country and this is what we do. So it took time to explain. So he said they will go through the loins, right? And I would not even feel a thing. And when I wake up and, see, you won't even see the sign or the scar. So I said, okay, I spoke to my wife, I spoke to my parents, and I told them, well, this is it. If God says, well, I'm going to wake up, I will. And if he says no, they shut me up normally, like, no, And during that moment, the moment of that surgery, my wife and my mom, they were praying all through until I woke up. So the surgery, the doctor now told me, I've always done this. So this is what we're going to do. We go through this place. We're going to cut those things, amend it, and then nothing is going to be wrong with you. Your BP will go back to normal. Your heart rate will go back to normal. And I said, okay, no problems. Lo and behold, they put me to sleep, and they did that. And I woke up, and I wasn't feeling any pain, nothing at all. And I left the hospital that same day, went back home. The only thing they told me was, don't carry something heavy, just take it easy, don't exercise for a while, and all that. And that experience also showed me that sometimes it is, not always about money. If you have the infrastructure, if you have the system, if you have everything in place, even though if you do not have money, you're going to survive. And why did I say that? That surgery cost $77,000. And guess how much I paid from my pocket? Less than $4,000.
Wow.
My insurance, because I had a job, my insurance paid everything. So that really, for me, changed everything. The way I look at life, look at people, circumstance, wealth, creation, people, health, like everything.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So come out of this experience, you decided you're going to die empty. Like since death can come at any time, it's better for you to live your full life.
Yes.
And so, how did that segue? Why was cybersecurity the thing that you focused on?
Thank you for that question. Because prior to that experience, the only thing I had known was cybersecurity.
Right.
So, and I said, now it's time to take it, like maybe those friends in the fashion would say, take it to the Broadway. Now I need to, let a lot of people know. And the fact that was the only thing I know I could teach. And I could say, this is what I know.
Right.
This is what we do at work, and this is how it's done, and this is how you can do it.
Yeah.
So that was how I started that.
Right.
Now, in America today, I don't know of any other training company, maybe other specialty like Scrum Master or project management. But when it comes to cybersecurity, our training company is like the biggest when it comes to African American or an immigrant training company in America today.
Right. Right.
So it took a lot of hard work to get there.
Yeah.
Now, in the course of training, we discovered a lot of things. Let me give you an example. So, say one of our friends here says, Tolu, because my staff call me TM, people call me TM.
Yeah.
TM, I like to do cybersecurity. Okay, yeah, you have to do a psychometric test. We'll test you to know if it's something that we can work with you. You do that, and then you come on board, we start training you. Number one, they're busy. They do not have time to, either when they're done with the training, to apply for jobs. Even when they start applying for jobs and they want to go for interview, they do not really prepare as much as we have told them and prep them. So they go to the interview and they perform very woefully. Number three is how they perform on the job. Even though we are trained them, we are also giving them practical training of what is done at work, how it's done, but we discover that there's a lot that needed to be done. So that's the first thing that we discovered, and that was why we developed LightForth.
Yeah.
So now, LightForth came as a result of that.
Yeah.
However, LightForth is not only for people in information security or cyber security or IT.
Right.
Whatever you want to do, if you're in the healthcare sector or you're in IT or you are in financial industry, whatever you do, as long as you work on your resume, I think we call it CV here, you work on your resume, you work on applying for jobs, interview, excelling on the job. LightForth takes care of everything.
Right.
So that was why we discovered, and then we developed that okay, instead of doing this by ourselves, because our student, our program is a premium program. It's expensive, it's not for everybody, and we take care of them. So rather than we, teach you, prep you, apply for jobs for you, prep you for interview, give you on-the-job support, why not have something to automate that?
Right.
That's why we developed LightForth.
Oh, right. So that's what led to developing
That's what
LightForth.
led to LightForth. As a matter of fact, LightForth was named by one of my team. His name is Peter. He named LightForth because I told them, okay, let's look for a name. And they were all giving names, and Peter named it LightForth, and that's why we are LightForth today.
Right. So LightForth is the name of the solution and the name of the company, or just the name of the solution?
It's the name of the company
Yes.
and the name of the solution.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So
right.
here's it. So if you come on LightForth, there is LightForth AI resume that writes your resume for you. See, for our folks, and for those of our folks watching, if you want to travel, you want to go to the US, UK, wherever you want to go in the West. I don't think that really happens in Nigeria, but there's something called ATS, Applicant Tracking System.
Right.
So that ATS has some keywords that aligns with the job description. So if your resume or your CV does not have those keywords, the ATS that the recruiters are using will skip your resume. It won't get to them. They won't see it. That's why you hear some people say, oh, I'm tired. I've applied for over 100 jobs. No interview.
Yes.
Because the hiring managers are not seeing your resume.
Right.
Number two, most of our people don't know that when you are applying for a job, you must tailor your resume for each job you apply for. So for instance, I'm an accountant and I see a job from Access Bank. or from Chase, and they say, okay, we need an accountant, 5 years of experience, you must know QuickBooks, you must know this, you must know that, I apply for that. And then there's another job from American bank, same position, but different job responsibilities. Those responsibilities might differ to this. So I must tailor my resume to match this. So most people don't know. So LightForth AI resume takes care of that to ensure that every job that applies for you tailors your resume to that job.
Right. Okay. So how does the cybercrime USP play into this?
Okay.
Yes. Like, is it that this solution helps you with this entire process in that particular industry, or is it across industries?
Thank you for that question. It's across industry.
Yes.
Either you're a nurse, or you're a cardiologist, or you are an accountant, or you are a software developer. It works for everyone.
So it grew from you working from cybercrime into across sectors. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Right. So that's what it does now. But do you still do? There's a training that if you go on the internet, you are popular for, which is to help people become
cybersecurity experts.
Cybersecurity experts in a 3-month period.
90 days.
In 90-day period. Does that still happen?
Yeah, we still do. I'm still a cybersecurity engineer.
So that's your
my mainstay. That's who I am. As a matter of fact, let me give you this example. I know my team might crucify me for this.
Okay.
There was a time, because LightForth is not the only thing we do. We have Credit Vito that we help to help people with credit, right? We also have Excel Mind. Excel Mind is in Nigeria. Schools use Excel Mind. Okay. So I told my team, and then we have like 2 other. I'm Chief Operating Officer for Peer Money as well. Peer Money is fintech across Africa. And one other company, like I have about 6 of them. Then I was going to change the brand, like, your bio, and I was changing everything. And then my mentor called me and said, "Are you stupid?" He said, "People know you for cybersecurity and you're putting all this. So you're confusing and distracting people. My friend, delete everything." So I deleted everything and I left only the cybersecurity. So even though I still do that, that is my core, like that's who I am. You can take everything away, but this cybersecurity, that's it.
Right. So you've explained it, but sometimes people don't hear until you say it from their point of view. What kind of person in Nigeria or anywhere around the world needs this solution?
All right, thank you for that. Now, let me say this. Unfortunately, Nigerians in Nigeria might not be able to use the product. For one reason, the pricing. It's expensive for the Nigerian market. However, if you're a Nigerian abroad,
in the diaspora,
we've got Chinese, we've got Caucasian, we've got Latinos, we've got everybody using our product. So, who is LightForth for? You are in between jobs, or you just got to the UK, the US, or the West, and you need a job. You need something to help you qualify, or to help you do it as it is done in that climate. You don't want to, say you're coming from Senegal, or you're coming from Ivory Coast, and you get to the US or UK, you want a job. You don't want to do your CV or your resume the same way it is done in Ivory Coast or Senegal. You have to do it the same way they do it there, because if you don't, there's so many people applying. And hiring manager, they have only 7 seconds to look at your resume. So you have to do what they find acceptable. So you are in between jobs, whoever you are, you're looking for a new job, or you want to change job, or you need help with interviews, right? Or you need help applying for jobs. LightForth will take care of everything for you.
And that's the thing you wish you had had when you came to America the first time.
I wish I had that, because with that, let me give you an example. Somebody, I did a webinar, and somebody signed up on LightForth. And 2 weeks later, my product analytics team, they sent me a message that, "Oh, wow, just 2 weeks, this person has an interview already." That is not something that you get often. Like using a platform, and in 2 weeks, you're getting an interview. Simply what that platform has done for you is, this platform finds this job and see the job description, requirement, and everything, and tailors your resume to match that. And the recruiter sees that, oh, this person has what we're looking for. Let's talk to him.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that is what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Other things came out of, so within the time when this this operation, this emergency happened, and now you've also been incredibly busy writing books. So these are your books. I don't know if the camera can get these.
Yeah.
So you've written eight
About
so
8
far.
books.
8 books so far.
Yes.
Yes, and the 9th is on the way.
It's on the way.
By the time this interview is out, the 9th will be out already.
Yes.
Was it the same thing that drove that?
Thank you. So, in the field of cybersecurity, there are about 8 domains right now. 8 domains. We have cloud security.
Right.
We have identity and access management. We have network security. I know like that.
Right.
Now, the one that we teach, which is pretty much easier for people to grasp, because our target market for cybersecurity is for everyone, irrespective of your background.
Right.
So GRC is not technical, right? So you can get into GRC even if you're coming from Yoruba background.
Right.
Let me give you an example. There's a lady, Miracle. I believe she's going to watch this as well. She's been a music professor for 13 years. And she got into cybersecurity, and in 39 days, she got a job. 39 days. So now, going back to the book, so we also, as a result of what we started seeing in the GRC space, people treating GRC not as it should be treated. And I said, well, I'm going to address this.
Right.
Of course, I can't begin to have training every day, training everybody like all GRC professionals, but I can write books that will touch lives. And to my amazement, because my books in America are one of the most expensive. For instance, this GRC Bible, you can check online, this costs about $250.
Right.
Yeah, so my books are like one of the most expensive.
Oh, wow, okay.
You'll be surprised, like you won't even expect people to buy, but every month we get like 15, 20 books sold of this. So that answers the question.
Right.
So these books are just something to help the cybersecurity professionals, but in the GRC space or GRC domain.
Yeah.
However, there are 2 of them, of these books. One here, this one, Building a World-Class Career, this was written because of LightForth. Just to help anyone you want to get into any career, not just for cybersecurity.
Right, yeah.
This is it.
Right.
Now, we have the one for cybersecurity as well, which is this: Hacking Your Way to the Job of Your Dreams, the Cybersecurity Career Handbook. That's the first book I wrote. This is for anyone who wants to get into cybersecurity.
Yeah.
However, the rest are basically for GRC.
Right.
The 2 latest ones were written because of AI. You know, a lot of GRC professionals are skeptical, like how will AI take our job? And of course, there has to be an answer to that. So one thing I do is, once I find a problem, I dive deeply into the answer, find the solution, and then bring it out and present it.
And present it, right. And you honestly think that 2021 incident hadn't happened, none of this would have been here?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes. I 100% doubt if that didn't happen. No, it was 2020, because I came home 2021.
Right, 2020.
November 2020, yes.
Yes, exactly.
If that didn't happen, I am confident that this won't happen.
Yeah.
Because there won't be, I was enjoying myself, you know. I had 2 jobs. I've always had 2, 3 jobs. So I was having fun, you know, tech bros, having fun. Nobody knows me. I was making close to $400,000. No stress, nothing. And then that happened. And then I'm like, yes, this is it. Now we have to leave everything. So when I'm gone,
these will be here.
yes.
Yeah.